This is her. Black excellence. All black everything. All black crew. The greatest pilots in the world. Yes, sir. Then we go inside with them light peanut butter guts. All matte black, light peanut butter guts. All types of snacks and fruits. Hey, yo, this a motive.
Hey you guys, so you just saw that video, and some of you at this point are familiar with my stance as far as listening to celebrities as far as the path our community should take to help improve the conditions of our strife. And I find it hilarious that Diddy, of all people, released a statement not even 24 hours ago talking about how black people should invest in real estate, not materialistic objects, and then several hours later, he's posting this video and picture of an all-black private jet that he purchased. And I understand that some of you will say it's his money, he can do what he wants with it. But see, there's two problems with that. One, a majority of the money he has comes from black artists that weren't properly paid, and he managed to screw over in one way or another. Two, I believe that there are some people who simply shouldn't be the messenger behind messages of virtue given those people's past actions and behavior. And I have to then question the quality of that person's character and wonder if what they say in that instance is filled with sincerity, because you don't even practice what you preach. Nonetheless, you give forth these speeches about taking efforts to save the black community. But what's eerily strange about Diddy and others like him is the fact that Malcolm X talked about black celebrities and how their position in this society does not appear to align with the struggles of non-celebrity black people. There's an article from Atlanta Black Star that I want to read for you guys, but before I do that, I want to read this excerpt from another article that detailed what Malcolm said in regards to black celebrities. So this says, Malcolm argued it was they who endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported these black leaders, whom he called puppets. He specifically mentioned the actress Lena Horne and the comedian Dick Gregory, arguing that white liberals placed black celebrities as leaders in front of the American public and claimed that their interests represented those of all black people. Malcolm pointed to the heart of the matter, that race and class status should be carefully scrutinized when considering whether black celebrities should actually advocate for the liberation of the entire black community. The political imaginations of black celebrities, he said, were often out of step with the visions of poor and working class black people. As a result, the celebrity role as a spokesperson of an entire race would lead to many pitfalls. Now, this first part is a little unrelated to the subject, but it plays a role in why you shouldn't take what celebrities do and say with merit. Malcolm made a good point about this because celebrities reside in a higher tax bracket socioeconomically, and they are groomed from a young age to entertain, not to speak on issues that adversely impact their community. Everything Malcolm said is absolutely correct. When you guys think about it, none of us should be taking these people seriously outside of their music or their acting or whatever they're known for, because their desires are unrealistic and outlandish. They themselves don't realize or understand what it takes for the community to be fixed, but they have perfected capitalism and exploitation. It actually takes me back to when Ice Cube was talking about working with Trump to develop this black agenda to help the black collective get to a better place. While I don't know what the exact details of this plan were, why did he feel it necessary to discuss a plan with someone that has a past of overt racially oppressive rhetoric and interactions? And let's just pretend that for a moment Trump honored his word in that agreement and decided to help Ice Cube with this request. Who's to say that at some point of this plan being enacted, Trump could have betrayed him and backed out of this idea halfway down? And Ice Cube would have been sitting there looking dumbfounded because he didn't have any foresight that this could be an outcome. And see, this is what Malcolm was alluding to regarding the out-of-touch perspective black celebrities have when it comes to devising solutions to fix the disparagement that our people are subject to. But I'm going to offer more commentary and an analysis to the situation after I read this article, and hopefully it will aid in our understanding of this conflicting expression by Diddy to buy houses while his actions showcase something different. And again, this article comes from Atlanta Black Star. It starts off by saying, Diddy, a multi-million-dollar mogul with several lucrative businesses, decided to spread a little wisdom on Wednesday, August 25th, by broadcasting the importance of investing. The 51-year-old's investment speech was initially shared on his Instagram story following a rant by him about individuals carelessly spending their money on expensive jewelry pieces like a Richard Mille watch. The luxury item in question ranges in price from $80,000 to $2 million. Diddy began by saying despite being a lover of the finer things in life, he doesn't understand why people would get tricked into buying such an expensive watch. Diddy says, "I'm not a hater, I'm a connoisseur of fly-ish, and I'm just telling y'all getting tricked by the Richard Mille." So let me just say this, what he's saying is not wrong. I do think more Black people should invest in homes and focus their efforts and attention towards longevity and things that don't depreciate in value over time. But again, the problem is that he probably should not have been the messenger behind this particular message, because you have to take into consideration his track record of buying all of these lavish, extravagant things, followed by him not dispersing Black artists' masters to them even when they want to work with him to negotiate the release of it. And it makes him look like a hypocrite, because how can you get on this soapbox and preach about what you think we should do when you don't even adhere to your own words of wisdom? Again, this is another off-topic tangent, but I think we should evaluate those who wish to speak on political and social issues thoroughly, because do they have expectations and goals that are realistic and within means of achieving, minus the duplicity? And my whole thing about materialism is that it's vapid. Why would you spend such an exorbitant amount on something that performs the same function as an object that's less than $50? That warrants a whole other discussion on Black people and what they place value in, and equating European name brands with success and social status subconsciously. So rather than go down that rabbit hole, let me at least finish this article first. So moving on, it says, he continued by comparing the Richard Mille piece to the affordable Timex watch, for which prices begin as low as $20. Richard Mille is like a Timex or some ish like that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all, it's not hot, it's not hot, it's not hot. I have 2 or 3. I never pull them out, they ugly. I don't even want to hate. I don't even know Richard Mille, but forget it. I'm on some Black-ish. Black men, save your money and go buy a house. After receiving what is presumed flack for his opinion, the mogul hopped back on his story to defend his previous comments. Everybody pipe down. It's my opinion. I love fly-ish. That's my opinion. Diddy then matched up his initial comparison between the watches to 2 different luxury cars, Rolls-Royce Phantom and Bentley Mulsanne. That's like somebody can be like, yo, they like the Rolls-Royce Phantom over the Bentley Mulsanne. I personally would take the Mulsanne. Many of y'all may not take that. So it's like, live your life and understand I said what the F I said. The father of 6 wrapped up the clip by reiterating the importance of investing, especially as Black people. Get some property, Black man and woman. Let's go. We know what to do. I tricked, but I got some property. I'm not sure if he was inebriated in the midst of this speech he gave. My interpretation of it is that it's incohesive and nonsensical. And what makes my head hurt at this point is this capitalist language disguised as sympathizing with Black people. You guys know that whole Black excellence foolishness he keeps saying, or this, I'm on some Black-ish. Just shut up. Like, we get it at this point. He literally oversaturates his announcements with this blackity black talk to the point where now it comes off as some form of overcompensation. For what reason, I don't know. It could be in hopes that he thinks we forgot all about how he rips off his Black artists. But to make matters worse, he then decides to backtrack on his original comments because people were calling him out, rightfully so. Because again, remember what I was telling you guys about what Malcolm X said in regards to Black celebrities, how they're out of touch with reality. Remember, they have much more wealth than some of us, and so their outlooks are different than non-celebrities. So he deduces what he just said to a vague generalization saying, just live your life. And it's like, well, yeah, we already do that. And really, no one asked for you to tell us these things we already know. And there's a mass deficit in home ownership in the Black community, no doubt. And for Black people in a high tax bracket, they can afford multiple homes and establish wealth for themselves for generations to come. However, that is not the case for the working class Black people. Malcolm's statements about why class and race should be scrutinized are a prime example of this. Now again, what he's saying to a degree is not wrong, but my position is this. As opposed to speaking in an ignorant manner about a subject that you're not that well versed in, maybe reshare articles and videos of socially conscious Black people who have similar viewpoints. I guarantee you it makes way more sense and the message is easily communicated in a logical, coherent manner. And for the love of all that is good, please stop saying hashtag Black Excellence every 5 to 6 seconds. Look, I'm all for words of encouragement and using colloquialisms that are aesthetically pleasing to a culture, but when you hear it vehemently in this way, it becomes the equivalent of children playing Simon Says. Does anyone else find it comical that he indirectly and subtly acknowledges that he ripped off his artist by saying he tricked, but he got property? He tried to clean up years of deception by following it up with something positive, as if those years of struggles that those artists had to go through are minimal because he took their money and bought property with it. And you can't make this up, but let me finish reading this, y'all. So it goes on to say, as Diddy's video became viral, many praised him for spreading knowledge about the power of using money wisely. One Instagram user went as far as to question the mogul on owning a few of the Richard Mille pieces before expressing they also agree with his previous sentiments. Someone said he is not lying. Another person said most expensive things are ugly people just buy them just to say they have something that costs that much. Another person says agree, invest into things that will have a profit for generations to come. Another user said he told no lies, and then someone else said, but you bought 3. If they aren't hot, why did you stop at 1? But I agree, invest in real estate. Although it is unknown what originally provoked Diddy's speech, this isn't the first time he has used his platform to educate the masses. In July, he shared in a now-deleted post how his humble beginnings inspired him to want more out of life. In the clip, Diddy is seen eating a mango while lounging poolside, as he expressed to his fans that they can be just as successful as he is if they put in the work. You guys know that whole rich people talk. You can do it. You can be anything you want. You can be eating mango too, with the ocean as your backdrop. I ain't special. I just want it. I want it bad. You feel me? I won't allow myself to not have mango. My hustle, you know what I'm saying. There is a pathology in the Black community that a brand or a name signifies wealth and status when really it does nothing for several centuries to come. But it's because of our severe lack of foresight that it creates these unfortunate mishaps or poor spending habits and placing value in the wrong things. In the process of acquiring material items, a shirt or shoes worth $300 or $400, we don't stop and ask ourselves the underlying questions of why the price of these things that depreciate just the same as other items are necessary for our buyer consumption. And then sometime later, we are left in financial ruins trying desperately to search for the answer as to why this phenomenon occurs. Because of our failure to understand the issues associated with this pattern of behavior, we perpetually remain in a state of regression, and the wealth gap in our community faces the imminent threat of being extinct by the year 2050, potentially sooner. I remember some time ago back in high school, I found myself constantly being obsessed with buying Nike everything. I had to have a Nike shirt, shorts, shoes, and I didn't realize it until I got into my sophomore year of college that what I was buying really didn't make a difference because eventually I will wash the clothes or clean the shoes, and over time they don't gain any sort of value. All that happens is the clothes will slowly fade over time from consistent washer usage, and the shoes will start to wear from daily routines. And it was at that point for the remainder of the time that I was in college until I graduated that I stopped wearing trivial and frivolous brands and just started buying plain, solid shirts and shoes. Now, I don't purport to tell anyone how they should spend their money, nor is it my place, but I will say that our community spends a significant amount of wealth in markets outside of our own. However, at the same time, I am well aware that we don't have a stake anywhere in any industries, thus limiting our options to those in other communities. And in saying all of this, I also want to make sure you guys are cognizant to the fact that Black capitalism is a real thing. Don't fall for the hype just because a Black celebrity tells you to invest in their brand, because they're pocketing the money for themselves with no intention of helping the community in a way that directly benefits our day-to-day livelihood, such as the presence of a health insurance company, a hospital, or law enforcement system. All I'm saying is I'm all ears, ready, and actively listening for when we really start to talk about the tangible versus something meaningless like brands, because we've had this discussion now over 1,000,000 times. And be careful of non-Black celebrities telling you to invest in their products too, because they are all inclusive. I think what could be of benefit for us is to thoroughly examine the intentions of not just people but organizations. Long gone should be the days of throwing blind support behind anything just because it says Black on it or inclusivity and diversity. I think in the meantime, as far as Diddy, he should probably refrain from speaking about what we could be doing and acting as though this world was designed for everyone to be multimillionaires, because as quiet as it's kept, There is a system designed and set in place for only a small percentage of people to be in possession of large quantities of wealth, and he just happens to be one of the few. That's not opinion, that's fact, because if the world were this way, there would be no poverty and social status would not exist, because everyone would be on the same playing field, and human ego will not allow that. But let me know your thoughts on Diddy's impractical speech and give me your opinion on my analysis of his words and using Malcolm's words as my basis for how I arrived at this response. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.